What just happened as Bitcoin rallied through $123,000 might just prove the paper Bitcoin narrative is wrong. A massive whale was spotted moving 80,000 Bitcoin to the OTC desk, and at the same time, the price saw its biggest pullback in weeks, a measly 3%. Is the paper Bitcoin a myth, or what does this mean for the Bitcoin bull run? Let's dive straight into this, guys. Of course, I'm here with the wonderful internet Sophie next to me. Nico got the day off. No, he's doing some other stuff. All right, guys, here's the headlines. This is what everyone's talking about. Bitcoin hit 123K. I literally got my friend again in my DMs telling me it's over, bro. And I'm like, oh my God. He's doing chart crimes and stuff too. And I'm just like, I am done with you. Anyways, on Cointelegraph, the headline is Bitcoin price drop to 114K possible as Bitcoin whales take profits. And the subtext here is Bitcoin is at a risk of a deeper correction to fill the CME futures gap down to 114, fueled by profit taking from whales. So we can pull this up for you guys. We have the CME gap here, futures CME gap. So if you're unfamiliar with this is kind of a long-standing, heuristic in the Bitcoin space. You'll see the price kind of rip up, and then you'll see these gaps here in the CME futures right here. You'll see it's at 114-ish to 116. And usually when the price starts ripping, you'll see these gaps, and historically, you'll always kind of come back to these gaps. You got to close those gaps. So that's, I think, what this headline is saying. They're kind of framing it as a little more bearish than probably usual. But I keep thinking, without any more information here, we are still in buy the dip territory. So buy all the dips currently, but hey, potentially we are going back and closing that 114K futures gap. But moving forward, which is, I think, the real big news here, we've been wondering if there is paper Bitcoin, how much paper Bitcoin is in the space. I've been kind of leaning that, hey, there's probably is some paper Bitcoin, but I don't think there is the quote unquote mythical price suppression, price manipulation as we've been seeing. We've been seeing something to the contrary. And shouts out to Checkmatey. He's been all over this. What we have been seeing, again, something that makes very simple explanation for what is going on in the space is just there are more sellers than buyers currently. And as we've been covering, it seems like the retail interest, the retail FOMO from just the layman out there is non-existent. The new retail is coming from the ETF buyers. But at the same time, we are seeing some mega whales dumping Bitcoin. And honestly, we were kind of having this conversation this morning. We can't even really fault them. We can't even get mad at them when you're holding Bitcoin this long. Anyways, what am I talking about? Well, a dormant Bitcoin whale sells $2.34 billion of Bitcoin, aka 80,000 coins. It transferred to Galaxy Digital after holding for 14 years. The first ever sell move from an address linked to a 2011 OG. So, can you really fault this guy holding from 2011? He's got $2.34 billion in Bitcoin. He's probably like, hey, man, let me enjoy this. You've been around for a long time. You can't really even fault the guy here, I think we would all do the same thing here. And of course, this is how the Bitcoin coins get distributed amongst a lot more entrants in the space. Of course, the ETFs and the institutions want to buy this up. And as Checkmatey is saying, and literally I told Luke this morning, it sounds like he's trying to dunk on you this morning, Luke. And he just goes, look, the OTC desk found more coins. And you guys know I've been on the show kind of saying that I don't really believe the narrative that the exchanges are going to run out of Bitcoin. I think you will always see something similar like this. When the price goes up, some whales or even some plebs out there, some average people will sell Bitcoin on the exchanges. I think there will always be a price to sell Bitcoin. And as we saw, this played out yesterday. Hit 123K, huge whale, sends a bunch to Galaxy Digital, OTC desk. gain some profit. And as Checkmate, he says, the OTC desk found more Bitcoin. And here's probably the kicker before I give you guys some more examples of maybe what is going on here is Vijay Boyapati. And he goes, once again, the paper Bitcoin thesis is shown to be false. Whales are cashing in, which fully explains why Bitcoin stalled around 100K. Their supply is finite, however, and will eventually plow through it, which is kind of what I take more of the angle of saying. And then further, Andre from Bitwise basically saying something similar. Watch significant spike in long-term holder realized profits, and you can see here Bitcoin long-term holder LTH realized profits, and it's the biggest one since what? Late 24, maybe early 25. So it looks like whales in the space are realizing some profit. And as I've been saying, keep it simple. There's just more sellers than buyers right now. And at this point, I can't really fault them if you've been holding Bitcoin from 2011 to now. I don't even know. I'm sure someone can fact check me. What's a average price of 2011 Bitcoin to now? It's basically like under $1. You're getting $1 to 125K. Like I can't even really fault them at this point. It is what it is. So anyways, Sophie and I were having this conversation before the show, and it's like, can you really fault these guys for, locking in some profits here? Of course, as the maxi here, you're like, the profit is in Bitcoin. But sometimes you want to claim your purchasing power and change your life a little bit. So I'm not even really that mad. But this is what I think's going on. This is what I'm seeing here. And I do have some more receipts to kind of show you that even though they're selling, a lot of selling is coming from these whales. There is a lot of interest in buys coming from other places. So before I get to that, Soph, what's your thoughts on this 80,000 coin whale selling some Bitcoin?
As much as everyone says that, you buy at the price that you deserve, you also sell at the price that you deserve. Maybe this OG actually more than likely is like a Gen X or boomer type, because a lot of them are, like, as much as we like to dunk on the boomers, they are the ones that, got into this early. A lot of them are. Because a lot of the younger people started shitcoining. It just, it is what it is. I don't make up the rules. It's fine to sell some, especially like what he had 80,000 Bitcoin, what he sold 7,000, and now he has a cool 73,000 left. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I would do the same thing, but I would probably do the same thing just to, live a cushy lifestyle and leave some generational wealth for my kids. In terms of the price, I mean, we're down like 3%. That's enough to make
3%.
That's enough to make the stock bros lose their minds. I know that, my dad, when he looks at the stock market, he's like, we're down 3%. And it's enough to like give him a mini heart attack. But like, if you've been in Bitcoin for more than 5 minutes, 3% is literally nothing. Like, I think we were at 58K for I don't know how long, and now we're complaining that we've 2x to that. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of happy. I think that it'll bounce back. I don't think that this is gonna be a double top situation, as you were talking about. We're Bitcoiners. We're always going to find something to complain about. We're like a little bit perfectionist. But I don't think that we're bullish enough. If you don't think that institutions are looking at these prices and sharpening their knives to buy some more, then I think you're wrong. I think that the best is yet to come, and we just got to like hang on to that hopium,
Well, it's not hopium. We know it's going up.
Exactly. It's going up forever, Opti.
Yeah, it's totally going up forever. All right. As I told you, I have some other receipts here. So that's kind of like, I think the big explanation for why the price kind of went, a 3% correction. Again, it is very normal in a bull run parabolic scenarios that we do get pullbacks. The price doesn't go up forever. I know a lot of Bitcoiners right now, and I honestly would put Nico in this camp right here. He's been like, what are you talking about? I think we're getting bored with this price prediction or this price action, where it pumps like 10K and then it pulls back and probably going to go sideways and then it does it again. We're so dopamine fried. We want the 2017 run again, where it just pumps insane amounts for the next, 3 weeks or something like that. But we do have some interesting metrics coming out as well. So demand for spot Bitcoin ETF hits an all-time high of $94.2 million. So again, as we've been kind of covering, yes, maybe we aren't seeing retail from Main Street FOMOing into Bitcoin. You're not getting the Google trend alerts, but what you are seeing is retail through ETFs are essentially buying right now. There's a lot of interest coming from the institutional ETFs, which you can argue is retail. It's just a new breed of retail, and maybe you could say they're a little more sophisticated. But there is retail interest. It's just coming from a different direction. It's not people trying to search the internet, trying to figure out how to buy Bitcoin on exchanges. Though Soph might have a good little heuristic on that one. And then this next one is retail investors are, though, buying more Bitcoin than miners can produce. Shrimps, crabs, and fish are stacking 19,300 Bitcoin a month, while miners only release 13,400 Bitcoin. So again, I think there is this idea of a supply crunch coming, or, you know, short squeeze, mother of all short squeezes, however you want to frame this. I think it is on the horizon right now, but it is kind of hard for retail people DCing $100 a day or $100 a week, $1,000 a week, what have you, to really compete with a whale dumping 80,000 coins in just one sell. So it is coming. There is retail interest. It's just coming from a different area. And, you know, just it is, what's today? A Tuesday. Nico's not here. So we'll just throw some memes in here to wrap up this segment. And it's as TFTC said, we don't predict the future, but we front run the inevitability. And guys, it seems like we are going into the banana zone. As you can see, you know, that we are kind of in the correction phase. I think we're going to see some banana zone action. We'll see another correction phase, and then eventually we should probably see a real banana zone blow off top, hopefully like we saw in 2021. But this is, I think, the perfect meme to sum up what's going on right now. So shouts out to Stacy Herbert. And, you know, it's the cat yelling at the price, and why is it going down even though it's been going up? Like, if you really look at it, look at the blip going on right now here. Actually, I'll pull up a trading view here so we can kind of look at it real quick. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that crazy. Like, it's a blip on what's going on here. But I am getting friends hitting me up like, bro, if it doesn't stay above 116, it's over. And you come in here, guys, and you just kind of look at what this movement is that everyone's freaking out. It's currently at a 2% dip, 2% dip. So I wouldn't say there's anything to freak out about here. I think this is very normal. I'm still on the take that this is a buy the dip scenario. Buy all the dips. I think this is buy the dip season, guys. You guys are buy all the dips. If you still have fiat, this is buy the dip scenario. I don't think this is a double top scenario like 2021. I think that's already been invalidated. I've been looking at the charts, in the 2021 double top, it went like 5% and then it completely dipped. We're already at like a 10% move. So I think we are in parabolic run. Obviously, we don't know. We can't predict what's going on in the future. But we are seeing some whales take profit right now, and this is probably why, or rather, I think this is the reason why we're seeing the price kind of correct this early in the space. And then, of course, there's a CME gap at 114-ish. So there's a couple of things that I think once those get cleared up, you know, people buy the Bitcoin, I think we're on the run. So I think we are ripping.
What's the CME gap for people like me who don't know?
Yeah, so the CME here, let me pull it up. CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and it's futures contracts here. So, you know, people betting on what the price is going to be. But when you see them play out, it always kind of returns back. There's actually one, you know, here at 91K. So, hey, yeah, that's, but here's a good example. In 2024, you see how there's this gap here. That's at 77K. It skipped it. It went up. And then the price eventually returned back down, closed that gap, and then it took lift off. So I don't know if that's exactly what's happening here, but that's what a lot of trader boys are saying. That's literally what my buddy's telling me in my DMs is like, there's a gap at 114, bro. Like, it's going to close it. And then if it doesn't close it and hold strong, it's going to 100K, bro. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think this is just a healthy dip. We might not even close this gap. It could keep,
You know what happens every single time there's a dip like this and people panic sell? They regret it. So,
Yes.
I think like it's obviously interesting and entertaining, dare I say, for all of Bitcoin Twitter and, all the finance bros to like talk about it and speculate and analyze. But when you zoom out, that chart is going up and to the right. And everything is set up for this bull run to be absolutely massive. So, if we just like calm down, I think we're all going to be very, very satisfied at the end of the year.
Yeah, this comment I think hits the nail on the head. Aurelius goes, wait, I'm going to pose this as a question. Are we free of our 2021 PTSD?
No, we're
Totally not. I don't think we are. You put it as we are free of our 2021 PTSD. As the question, I don't think we are free of 2021 PTSD. As we've been covering, using the psychological chart here, because again, the Bitcoin price is psychological here, and you are dealing with the quote, animal spirits going on. And I don't think we are free of that 2021 PTSD. Like I'm even thinking, are we going to double top? Is this a double top? Can we finally invalidate that double top? And until we start breaking out of this 125 kind of K area, I'm still going to be PTSD like 2021.
I'm still going to be PTSD until we get to like at least 130. I feel like 130 psychologically is a number that like I can see the ride up to 150. And once we get to 150, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to be like, okay, like if it goes higher, if it goes lower, whatever, like at least we got to our like the price that everybody like kind of assumed that it was going to go to, at the very bare minimum 150. So but that's never what happens. Everybody always gets blown away. Everyone always speculates one price and then Bitcoin just blasts through to like, the stratosphere. So I think conservatively 150, but we could probably make it to 200, 220K like, other people are speculating.
Well, that is what we're seeing, guys. We're seeing people start to get more bullish here. And again, like everyone says, obviously, I think price predictions are fun. It's fun to speculate where the price is going to go. As I used to do, it's fun to kind of flex on your friends and kind of give them the FOMO, which is probably not the best way to orange pill your friends, to be honest.
Yes, it is. Pain, maximum pain. You want them to feel that FOMO of not buying Bitcoin. You want them to be like, damn, I should have, like in 4 years, you want them to think that so that they finally get the message and buy today. DCA, just buy a little bit every day. It doesn't matter what the price is. Like I saw one of the comments saying like, I hate that we're talking about fiat. Unfortunately, like I don't really care about the fiat price either, because at the end of the day, that the dollar is going down. But the reality is that the price number go up is the best marketing tool for hyper Bitcoinization. That's why we talk about it so much. That's why everybody loves to speculate. That's why more people tune into this channel when the price is going up, because it really is the thing that people our greed is the reason that hyper Bitcoinization will end up happening. And so like I want people to feel that pain. I want people to understand finally what we've been going through for the past 4 to 8 years, and finally buy some Bitcoin, put it into self-custody, fight the state, separate the money from the state, as Nico says. So
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Get on board, normies. Get it.
It's really whatever is needed for you to get off zero and play the game. As I always say, you're playing Pac-Man, you're playing Hungry Hippo. You just want to keep accumulating. Yes, like I was saying, price speculation, wondering where the price is going. It's fun. It's a good pastime. But this shouldn't be taken as, you should be trading this Bitcoin thing. It should just be, all right, well, if I think the price is going to go to X and it's at, 100K today, then I should probably buy some, hold this long term, continue to buy this. That's kind of how I use price speculation in my mental framework. It's like, Sailor said it the best the other day. He's like, look, I think one Bitcoin is going to be worth $13 million It's around 100K today. So every Bitcoin you don't buy is basically a $13 million opportunity cost. So whatever number you have in mind, just discount that based on what the price is today and ask yourself, hey, do I really want to miss out on whatever my golden number here is? Because it's going up. It's the best, hardest money in the world. It is sound money. The world is waking up to this. We're starting to see the institutional FOMO take hold. We're starting to see, nation states talk about it. We have this crypto week in Washington this week where they're supposedly going to implement some good regulations. I'm not really holding my breath on it, to be honest, but we're seeing the tide shift in our direction as Bitcoiners. And all you got to do is just buy Bitcoin, take it into custody yourself, cold storage, and literally do nothing. Go outside, do other things. The price of Bitcoin will do whatever it does, but your Bitcoin will be there for you when you need it. This is the real signal here. But, everyone likes the price speculations. Everyone's wondering what's going on with the price today because it's not going up, to the moon every single day. I think this is healthy. This is a healthy correction, healthy dip, and nothing to be worried about. But
it was funny.
It's caused by a whale.
My dad called me like the night that it was about to hit 120,000. He's like, it's hitting 120,000. And me and Nico just look at each other and we're like, oh. We just
cool.
we didn't know, like we had no idea. It's hilarious to me that all these people who claim not to care about Bitcoin and it's like whatever, and it's they're not like Bitcoin maxis like we are. They care so much about the price, but people who have been holding on for forever were just like, oh, 120, hooray, slow clap, golf clap, right? So this is nothing. I think that if we're feeling this like mild like comfort, then that means that we are very far away from the exhilaration and the euphoria.
We're not at euphoria.
Yeah, we are not even close to euphoria, so that's probably a good sign.
Yeah, someone says it's for some reason it's not popping up in my restream. Where'd it go? It says Steve-O B says looks like we are recovering fast. The dip may be done. I don't know. It's at 117 still, so who knows? But hey, buy all the dips. This is dip buying season. Don't freak out. Don't panic. It is interesting, like Sophie said in the beginning, how people freak out on a 3% move right now because it's at 125K, 3% drop. And they're like, it's over. It's like Chicken Little. The world is falling. It's like, no, literally 3% is nothing here. This is like as Sophie was just saying, this doesn't even wake us up in the morning. A 3% dip. It's like, bro, what is this, a dip for ants? And I'm not saying, dip it more. I'm just saying this doesn't even get our heart pumping. A 3% pump is
Dip
nothing. 3% dip
Bitcoin.
doesn't mean anything here. This is what true conviction looks like. We're like, yeah, whatever. Like, as your dad was saying, 125K. And we're like, it's only at 125. I thought it was going up higher. I thought it was going up way higher. Yeah, crashing was the clickbait for today, guys. Just capturing the zeitgeist of the normies. They're watching this Bitcoin thing. They're used to Wall Street, and they're like, it crashed 3%. It's over.
That's what they're going to be searching online. Why is Bitcoin crashing? And they have like, $3 in Bitcoin, like they bought it yesterday, and they're like, why did I just lose my money? But it's fine because this is what gets them into the rabbit hole and start becoming interested.
Yeah, and for everyone saying that we jinxed the price yesterday in the chat, I think C-Suite really sums it up here. More dip, Opti. They want more dip. What is this, a dip for ants? This is nothing. Keep it dipping on us. Let's go. We want more sats. Anyways, guys, we got a packed show for you guys. So it looks like Wall Street traders are making stupidly bullish Bitcoin predictions on Squawk Box. And then we got some more bank news coming out. ETFs in the UK going live. We have Deutsche Bank saying that the Bitcoin market is maturing. It seems like they are laying the foundation for the next wave of FOMO. And then we saw some interesting stuff going on in the Mempools that I do want to talk about in the culture. So We'll do all that. But before I keep going, guys, of course, smash the like button. Comment on this. Is this 3% dip scaring you? Do you want cheaper sats? Are we in banana zone by the dip season? Let me know in the comments on YouTube and Rumble. And, of course, smash the subscribe button. We drop the best content, the most content. What's some Trumpism? The hugest I don't know. Anyways, I do want to give a shout out to our partners over at Bitcoin Well. Make sure you are buying real Bitcoin. Make sure you are getting the Bitcoin delivered to you once you sell them the fiat. So once you give them your dollars, they send the Bitcoin directly to you. They have never lost Bitcoin. They will never lose Bitcoin because they never hold your Bitcoin. And this is why we love them. It's the best way to get Bitcoin. There's no chance of them rug pulling you. And of course, if you scan the QR code, you get 3 tosses into the Bitcoin wishing well with a up to 1 million sat chance of winning some free money. And I saw Adam say this on Twitter, so I'm not really putting him on blast, but he's saying as the price keeps going up, they might have to lower that 1 million sat wishing well prize. So if you have some points, I would start tossing coins into the wishing well. Let's see if a Simply Bitcoin user can get that 1 million sats. Anyways, let's get into today's numbers, guys.
I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Stamp Seed. Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Are your seed words really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you'll need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of writing them down on paper. Don't do that. Paper sucks. You want to literally stamp your seed into this plate of titanium. Your words are actually stamped into the metal plate with this hammer. So once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and your pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamp seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They are also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and most importantly, because this is generational wealth, time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin for the long haul. I mean, here is the plate that they crushed. They put in water, they put a blowtorch to it, and as you can see, the words have survived. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. And you can use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on their store. Head over to stampseed.com today.
Alrighty then, guys, let's go over some of the Bitcoin numbers. So the current price of Bitcoin is $117,460 per Bitcoin. It's over, guys. We had a good run. It was a good run. The block height is currently at 905,701. The market cap in fiat terms is 2.34 trillion. So I think we just dropped below Amazon. I think it was 2.4 where we're above Amazon. So, you know, it was fun. It was fun claiming the 5th largest asset in the world for what, a day. The Bitcoin versus gold market cap is at 9.89%. We're almost at that 10%. And soon enough, you know, everyone on Twitter goes like it'll never be under 100K. Well, soon enough, it'll never be under 10% of the gold market cap, and you just love to see it. And last one, a decline from all-time high of negative 4.6. I've been saying this for a while. It's like we're not even down negative 5% from all-time high, and I'm getting blown up in my DMs that it's over. I'm like, what are you guys even talking about? This makes no sense to me. It's absolutely, this is nothing. What is this? A different ants? Like, come on, guys. I don't need bears DMing me. Like, if you're a bear, I don't even want you watching the show anymore. Like, I don't want to deal with bears right now. All right. Okay. As I was saying, we got this clip coming out of Squawk Box, or sorry, this is on Fast Money. Even worse, guys. This is on Fast Money, Jim Cramer's show. And this is like a long-term Wall Street trader here named Steve Grosso. and he's getting stupidly bullish on Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if this is a top signal. Is this a buy signal, a bear signal? I don't really know, but he is making a pretty good case, and it does seem like, Wall Street is waking up here. It sounds like they might be getting the FOMO bug. So we'll see if this catches on, but let's just hear what he's saying. Let's see. This is actually a good kind of, I don't know, zeitgeist summation. I didn't drink enough coffee this morning. A good summary of what a non-Bitcoiner probably thinks about Bitcoin at this current moment.
I am a firm believer that it's going much, much higher from here. Think about corporate adoption. Corporate adoption is probably only about 2%. Central banks, only about 3%. Those are both going higher, much higher. Retail investors going much higher. So look at it through, I'll leave off with this. Look at it through the market cap of Bitcoin. That's around 2 trillion, let's say. Look at the market cap of gold. That's around 20 trillion. Maybe it doesn't have to be gold, but if it closes the gap to 50%, you're looking at $500,000 per Bitcoin. And I do think that in iShot, you're looking at 250, 350,000 pretty easily for crypto. There's a couple of things, a couple of hurdles, but I think those days of it losing 80% of its value and then rallying up are long gone. There's too many people that are looking for the asset.
Interesting take. I mean, first of all, the obvious, he's like 250, 350, 500K per Bitcoin. He's like, that's easy. Obviously, I think he's talking his bags here. He does kind of have the like Wolf of Wall Street kind of slick vibe to him on that clip. I'm not going to lie. But I do want to kind of touch on that last point, which is if this is a good kind of example of what the conversations are happening on Wall Street right now, there is probably more interest going on around Bitcoin. As we've been covering and we will cover on the show, Bitcoin is maturing in real time. People are starting to take Bitcoin seriously. And I do kind of believe that last point that he said. I'm kind of leaning on that fence. I don't think the 4-year cycle is over, but I am kind of leaning towards a direction that we might not see another 80% drawdown. Maybe a 50% drawdown is in the books. I know a lot of people are saying we're seeing the stepwise function. It's just going to like pump, go sideways, pump again, or wait, they'll do it here, pump, sideways, pump, like a step forever. I don't know if you guys have looked at the S&P 500, but it's literally just been up and to the right since like the 40s. Maybe this is what's happening right now. I know Nico and I have been kind of joking about, wow, like, are we trading the S&P 500? Like, this is boring now. Like, are we trading, are we just trading a boring S&P 500? Where's the fun in this? But you are starting to see, hey, Wall Street is waking up. The institutions are here. I'm sure the conversations are being had. And now they're out here being like 250, 300K Bitcoin this year. That's easy. So honestly, he's sounding more bullish than I am. And I can't have this on the show anymore. So as I've been saying, we're going way higher. I can't be the bear when we have Wall Street coming in here and being super bullish. Anyway, so what's your thoughts on this guy? Can we trust the slick Wall Street traders?
Look, if he's saying it, as long as Jim Cramer isn't saying this stuff, like, I think we're safe. I think we're good. Pretty much, I kind of agree with that theory. I don't think that the dips that we saw back in the day are going to really exist. I mean, obviously, I think some people will end up selling if we end up reaching an all-time high of 220, 250. You are going to see some people selling because this is just like the nature of how markets work. And but now we have big institutions and we have nation states who are making Bitcoin reserves. We have whole companies who are basing their value on a Bitcoin reserve strategy. So if that's the case, I think that they're in it for the long run. They're not going to be, you know, they're going to be the new whales, quote unquote. They're going to be the people who are going to be holding on for a really long time. And if that's the case, we're not going to see anybody, we're not going to see these dips like we used to back in the day. And if we don't see these dips, then maybe, you know, the normal pleb like you and I, we're not going to sell either. We're going to be less likely to sell. Maybe some people will sell a little bit, you know, here and there to like pay their bills and live. And that's totally normal. But is that really going to affect the price of Bitcoin? I don't think so. And it's in these institutions and companies and nation states' best interest to just keep holding on, because since this is a finite asset, it's in all of our best interests to keep holding. If anything, you might see, you know, people taking out loans here and there, but that, again, I don't think that that's going to make the price of Bitcoin go down.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Yeah, super side. I don't know. I don't know. Dude, we'll see.
To Stevie OB, we love you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, as Mickey said here, guys, we're playing on what the normies are thinking here with the crashing, guys. This is, I just said a minute ago, 3% is nothing here. We've been here a long time. This is just, it's just kind of fun, man. As everyone's saying, you'll regret selling. Guys, it's very simple. Like, even in regards to the whale in the beginning of the show, if he sold 80,000 Bitcoin, I'm sure he still has, you know, at minimum a couple tens of thousands of coins. So I'm pretty sure no one comes into Bitcoin, sells all of their Bitcoin, and goes back to fiat. If you understood Bitcoin from 2011 to now, there's no going back. It's a one-way road. So everyone here, the point remains the same. What you want to do is very simple. You want to make sure that you're living below your means, that you have some excess cash going into Bitcoin. If you're all in on Bitcoin, then you just want to make sure you are living below your means and you're not spending all the Bitcoin you have. Like, it's a very simple strategy. You don't have to complicate this. The price is going to go up. You have the best performing money the last 15 years. You have the only hard cap money in the world. It's the only money that is deflationary. Like, it's going to go up. All you have to do is zoom out, make sure you're not spending all of your savings. It's very simple. It's like a normie. It's like, you just have to make sure you aren't blowing your life savings on dumb stuff, and you'll be in a good position moving forward. It's not that complicated. Yes, this is a buying opportunity. As I said a minute ago, this is buy the dip territory. Buy all the dips. And if you're out of money, then you either sit on the sidelines and watch people buy the dips, or, you know, you sell your chairs to buy the dips. Maybe you don't need that second car. I don't know. This is not financial advice, but I'm just telling you, this is buy the dip territory. You're in good hands here if you're just constantly buying Bitcoin. Yes, the best performing money, period. All right, guys, let's get into some bank news. It's not the funnest, but hey, again, this is signs of what is going on, and I think a growing trend we're seeing where Bitcoin is kind of being taken more seriously. As the banks like to say, it is maturing in real time, and I think that's only going to lead to more capital coming into Bitcoin. So let's cover that.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, Ledin, the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans. Unlock the liquidity in your Bitcoin without having to sell your Bitcoin. They've issued $9 billion in loans to over 10,000 customers since 2018. I absolutely love these guys. Not only do I have an account with them, but I also have a loan. And what I love about them is that there are no monthly payments, and you could pay back the loan at any time. As soon as you send your Bitcoin as collateral, you'll have cash in your account within 24 hours. Over 1,000 five-star customer reviews, and they've never lost a single dollar or sat of customer money. Go to learn.ledin.io/simply today, and you'll get 0.25% off your first loan. I want to give a shout out to our partner, sat123.com. Sovereignty isn't just about your money. It's about your communications too. When the grid goes down, most people go dark. Cell towers fail in hurricanes, cyber attacks, and blackouts. But satellite phones, they don't rely on local infrastructure. Iridium has 77 satellites in orbit, giving you a direct line anywhere in the US, even offshore. If you hold your own Bitcoin keys, you should hold your own comms too. Sat123.com also has everything you need to start building your Bitcoin citadel. Starlink, battery backups, Faraday bags to protect your hardware wallets, and much, much more. It's a one-stop shop for anyone serious about resilience and off-grid independence. Stay connected, stay independent, stay sovereign. Go to sat123.com/simply today and use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the store. I want to give a shout out to our partner, Cold Card. If you're serious about self-custody, Cold Card is the best Bitcoin hardware wallet. There is no second best. The Cold Card Q is the ultimate air-gapped Bitcoin signing device, complete with a full keyboard, large screen, camera, NFC support, and much more. Do you prefer something sleeker? The MK4 is trusted by hardcore Bitcoiners around the world. Both are built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners, secure and open source. Simply Bitcoin viewers get 5% off with promo code SIMPLY. Take self-custody of your Bitcoin today with Cold Card.
Alrighty, guys, scan the QR code, use the promo code SIMPLY, and get yourself one of these very beautiful orange Qs, Cold Card Qs. These are this. Yeah, dude, this is a real.
Imagine yourself looking so cool with your Bitcoin in self-custody, just like using this. Like,
you know, I just lost my job as the Cold Card Q model, so
hey, I sold some of these by modeling it last time, so you know, if you want me to keep modeling these, use our QR code and purchase 6 of them. You want your whole family to have self-custody, and you want to have the best Bitcoin hardware wallet in the business, and we all know that's Cold Card.
wow, what a pro. What a pro. Literally a pro. I didn't that was off the dome. She's a pro. She's been around long enough here.
I just honestly really love the product. Like, no,
dude,
all sponsorships aside, like, this is just like a beautiful product. It's so beautiful.
All right, anyways, enough shilling. Let's get into the news story, guys. So I think as we've been seeing, this year is kind of a culmination of a few different things. Obviously, Trump coming in, nation state FOMO, making the U.S., quote unquote, the Bitcoin superpower of the world. But at the same time, we have the corporate Bitcoin treasury strategy, a la the Michael Saylor strategy that is kicking off. And then as all this is happening, we are finally getting a lot of bank regulatory clearance coming through. And with that comes a lot of banks starting to pivot into Bitcoin. They're starting to see, you know, I think whether they like it or not, the writing on the wall, I think very famously was the Jamie Dimon news, where he came out and he was like, look, I may not like Bitcoin, but I protect your right to buy whatever you want. You know, if you want to smoke cigarettes, like, I'll make sure that you're able to buy those cigarettes, or whatever he said. We're starting to see this trend kind of kick off everywhere around the world right now. And the first one we're going to cover is essentially, this is coming out of Reuters, Standard Chartered. If you guys have been watching the show, they've been getting more and more bullish on the price of Bitcoin, but it looks like they just launched Bitcoin and, of course, the mother of all shitcoins, Ether spot trading for institutional clients in the UK. So just reading this a little bit, Standard Chartered will allow institutional clients to trade Bitcoin through its UK branch. The bank said on Tuesday, becoming what it said was the first globally systemically important bank to offer such crypto services. Again, the irony is not lost on me that 2008 great financial crisis that Bitcoin was born out of was, of course, the systemically important banks blowing everything up, and now they're like, hey, you know, trust us. We want to get in this Bitcoin thing. These fees sound pretty good. Let's get into this. It
reminds me of that Steve Buscemi meme of like, what up, children?
What up, kids?
What up, kids? Like,
I like this Bitcoin thing too.
Yeah, they're trying to be hip and cool, and it's like, okay, fine, boomer. Like, you can be part of the club. Like, it's all right. Like,
well,
I feel bad dunking on the boomers because I feel like a lot of them are with it. I don't. It's not really.
The Bitcoin boomers are cool.
Yeah,
the other ones are not.
It's never, because there's a lot of like Gen X and millennial people too who just have like their head up their ass and they don't.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not going to say that.
They're not with it. I'm telling you, this might not just be a boomer problem. This might just be like
this is a normie problem.
It's a normie problem.
Okay. Yes, 100%. Anyways, again, there's a little more signal coming out of this Reuters article, and it goes, some financial institutions have said they are seeing more client demand from crypto products as the price of Bitcoin hits record highs. Guys, It's simple. You may think there's something more interesting about Bitcoin than the price. Oh yeah, you're a Bitcoiner. The normies see the price go up and they're like, maybe I should buy this. It makes no sense. They see the price of Bitcoin crash and they're like, actually, I'm going to wait till it goes lower to buy. Then they see the price start ripping and the FOMO kicks in and they're like, actually, I should just buy right now. They're kicking themselves in the ass because they didn't buy it at 58K or 16K, 3K, etc. They see it at 125K and they're like, I need to buy this now. And of course, to add on this, it says helped by U.S. President Donald Trump's pro-crypto stance. And then it just kind of goes on talking about the institutional clients, including corporates, investors, and asset managers will be able to conduct spot crypto trading through Standard Charter's existing platforms. So, I've been very critical about what's going on in the European Union, in the UK, and of course, what's coming out of the ECB. They're not really in a good position, but I think this is a good sign that, hey, they're seeing that there is some demand coming for Bitcoin. Yeah, they need Bitcoin is all I'm saying. It's either CBDC or Bitcoin. Now, the next story in here is also kind of interesting coming out of Deutsche Bank, which is, of course, in Germany, which, of course, a small, I forget what it's called, it's province or state selling 50,000 Bitcoin. They've been making a lot of bad moves in Bitcoin. Obviously, it's not one monolithic thing over there, but the Deutsche Bank comes out and they say Bitcoin's volatility will continue to decline as adoption grows. I think kind of stating the obvious here, but it is kind of painting a picture that we're seeing as more people come into Bitcoin, as the price goes up, as the market cap increases, and these big institutions are able to get into the market and not make a splash and make the price start running or dump a lot. People are going to be more comfortable. And I think this is kind of a growing trend that I'm seeing. A lot of people, as even the chat was saying, it's like we might not see an 80% drawdown. The trader guy from Wall Street said it again, Steve Grasso. He's like, we're probably not going to see an 80% drawdown. Maybe it's like a 50% drawdown. But the trend is still going in one direction. A lot of institutions are starting to say the same thing. Bitcoin is maturing. With that maturation comes, maybe less volatility on the downside. Maybe it also means less volatility on the upside. We have still yet to see how that plays out this year. Maybe we are just going up forever. Maybe this is just going stepwise function up and to the right forever. The volatility just kind of goes with boring us to death by it chopping sideways, consolidation. But anyways, let's read this article a little bit. And then there was actually an interesting news story coming out of the OCC, FDIC around banks. Let me see if I can pull that out because I think it's a good thing to kind of wrap into this portion. But Bitcoin's volatility could continue to fall as mainstream acceptance grows and the cryptocurrency is adopted by companies, retail investors, and government, Deutsche Bank said in a research report on Tuesday. Again, we've been saying this on the show, but we don't really wear suits and we're not a big bank, so there's probably people don't listen to us, but we've been saying the same thing. As more companies buy Bitcoin, as retail starts catching FOMO, and of course, as nation states start buying Bitcoin, this isn't going away. And a lot of these people are here to hold Bitcoin for the long run. As we heard from, I don't know if Senator Lummis's bills will pass, but if you read the writing, they're talking about holding Bitcoin for decades here. So if this does happen, a lot of the Bitcoin that they scoop up will be held long-term. It's not going to just be trader volatility. Anyways, this is probably, I've been seeing people attribute this to the price coming up this week, but excitement over upcoming legislation in the U.S. Again, it's crypto week right now in Washington. There's a bunch of deliberations around some Bitcoin crypto acts in Washington has spurred Bitcoin's recent rally, the German lender said, but it is notable that the crypto's rise has also been accompanied by a historic decline in volatility levels. And of course, it kind of goes up and says, hey, it's been up 75% since mid-November. It's going up. They're talking about it in Washington. And here's probably the kicker. I mean, who knows what they see that we don't see. Again, this is probably pure speculation, but it's some good marketing. I'll take it. Deutsche Bank suggests the drop in volatility signals a maturing market where regulatory clarity, broader adoption, and long-term investment behaviors are stabilizing performance. As Bitcoin gains legitimacy through regulation and integration into traditional portfolios, it may continue to shed its speculative image and evolve it into more stable strategic asset, the report added. I think it's honestly kind of a... Yeah, it's kind of whitewashing what's going on over here. But here, so if you go a little bit, let me see if I can find this other news, and I'll wrap this portion up.
I just think it's comical that Deutsche Bank is like, this has finally become a more stable currency. Like, dog, we're in a bull market. Like, just be honest. You want to get in because the price is going up. Like, stop talking about all this like volatility stuff. We know you don't like that. That's kind of like a secondary issue. Like, yes, volatility, it might start becoming more stable because all of these institutions are coming in. But realistically, you are all scared for your life that debt is going up, your money printer is going burr, and you have nothing to back up the wealth of your country, or your bags for that matter. And you're finally coming to terms with the fact that, hey, I have to actually do something about this. This is not sustainable. And that's when people actually like turn to Bitcoin and they see it as more of an asset, more than an asset, and more than just like number go up. The number go up is what gets people interested to dip their toes, but the long-term valuation and the long-term value is what gets people to stay. And since they don't want to backtrack because they're never wrong, right? These big institutions are never wrong. They're the experts. They're never going to say like, hey, actually, like we might have been wrong about this. Like, no. This is just becoming stable now, guys. This is just becoming stable. I want to see them go through their first cycle. If they're having a little heart attack over 3% dip, then let's see what happens when it goes down 20%, which is totally feasible. I don't know what to.
It's not that complicated.
It's really not that complicated. Exactly. Slap who?
Oh man. Yeah.
Why?
Let's go. Okay.
I don't get our fans sometimes.
This is an old joke, inside joke that we scam people into profits because of our clickbait titles. You watch the video, you want to buy Bitcoin, it's like we scam you into making money.
That's the point.
But that's the point of the joke is that, hey, we're literally not scamming people, but if you watch this show, you want to buy Bitcoin. So we're scamming you. We're scamming you to become rich. So you become rich, not us.
Wait, hold on. Also, didn't Germany sell?
Yeah, they sold 50,000 coins. And now they're like, hey, maybe we want to get back into it. But to Sophie's point here, I think this is kind of the signal as well. Saylor tweeted this morning, but this really came out of the Office of Comptroller of the Currency, and it goes, the OCC, the Fed, and FDIC reaffirmed that banks may offer custody and safekeeping of crypto assets such as Bitcoin under existing risk management expectations. So again, as Soph was kind of saying, the pivot towards Bitcoin right now, reaffirming that they can hold it, that, hey, our clients want it. Oh, it's becoming more mature. It's greed taking over. They want a piece of the action, even though they've been talking bad about it.
You're becoming more mature. You're coming to terms with reality, and that's actual maturity. That's growth. We're really proud of you. But like, don't blame it on Bitcoin becoming more stable. We're still in the middle of a bull run. Like, relax.
It's stable on the downside. Actually, here, let's do this. This is kind of not breaking, but this just dropped this morning. We have Donald Trump tweeting, Happy Crypto Week.
Whoa.
The House will soon vote on a tremendous bill to make America the undisputed #1 leader in digital assets. Nobody does it better. The Genius Act is going to put our great nation light years ahead of China, Europe, and all others who are trying endlessly to catch up, but they just can't do it. Digital assets are the future. Bitcoin is the future, and we are leading by a lot. Get the first vote done this afternoon. All Republicans should vote yes. This is our moment. Digital assets, genius, clarity. It's all part of making America great again, bigger and better than ever before. We are leading the world, and we'll work hard with the Senate and the House to get even more legislation on this pass.
You know what, Trump? Pump those bags. Pump those bags and use it to buy more Bitcoin, because we know, and and everybody knows that you're going to end up using all of that money. Like, this is just marketing for all of the shit coins to just, keep giving him more money. And then hopefully the government or him or whatever will use that money to buy more Bitcoin, because somebody's got to tell him, right? I mean, the Winklevoss twins are advising him on this stuff, right? There has to be, right?
I mean, they have good advisors. I don't know about the Winklevoss in particular, but
Listen, there's a lot of smart people, is my point, who are advising him on this stuff. And if they're telling him to seriously hold, you know, basically like the shittier version of fiat, you know, I don't know what to tell you. But if it's good for Bitcoin's bags, like I'm happy about it. Like,
yo, Trump, just pump the bags,
yeah,
bro.
I can't be mad at the man for doing it. Like I just pump the bags, bro.
Just pump the bags
and get out of our way.
Yes, 100%.
Pump the bags, get out of our way. Let us, you know, have our right to self-custody, and it's all gonna be good.
Hold on, this is a good one. Before I move on, because I am going to wrap up the show pretty quickly, but I did see some interesting stuff coming out of the Mempools that I think we should talk about for a second. But shouts out to UTXO, and he goes, the Winklevi aren't advising the Trumps, the Bogdanov twins are. The Bogdanov twins are. And so I don't know if you know who that is.
Who is that?
It's the guys with like the crazy plastic surgery. But I thought
the
they
mask?
passed away. No. I'll show you on the break. All right, guys. Anyways, let's talk about some mempool stuff. I think some interesting things going on as we.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, HIVE Digital Technology. Why HIVE in 2025? Unstoppable growth. As the first ever public miner, HIVE's position to quadruple their global footprint, making them one of the world's fastest growing miners in 2025. And with elite operations that consistently top the industry in Bitcoin mined per exahash, HIVE's now headquartered in the USA. They're lean and mean, they're green and clean, and they're rewriting the playbook on sustainable Bitcoin mining. You can catch the latest buzz at HIVE Digital Tech or at hivedigitaltech.com.
All right, guys. So this popped up on my timeline last night, and I've been telling you guys for a while. You know, I know when the price goes up, the fees may also go up, and you should probably be consolidating your UTXOs. Make sure your cold storage is in a good position before, you know, you see a crazy, 5, 10x of your net worth go up. Well, shouts out to Ben Kaufman, because this is pretty nuts. Actually, it starts with Mempool. So at Mempool, the official Twitter account goes, don't overpay for block space. 0.1 sat per VByte is the new 1 sat per VByte. Minimum fee of 0.1. I honestly didn't even know it could get that low, to be honest. But Ben Kaufman tweets, unfairly cheap, this time for real. And a lot of the stuff going on in the 2017 or rather 2016 block size war is like the fees are getting crazy as the price. Well, actually, let me give some context here. In the past, as the price went up, people would buy and fight for block space, getting your transaction in, and the fees would get pretty nuts. I've seen them get up to, the last time we had this whole ordinals inscriptions kind of debacle play out, to say, you put it one way. I saw the fees go to like 400, 500, 600. I think it got all the way up to like 1,000 sats per VByte. And right now we're basically all-time high, and there's just no activity on the chain. And it makes you think one thing. Maybe all the retail Bitcoin is just kind of getting swapped around, or sorry, the ETF Bitcoin's getting swapped around on like an SQL database. Maybe it's just internally in Coinbase, but no one's using the chain right now. And you can see fees are super low. And if you look at some of these boxes here, which is of course pending transactions, they're as low as 0.3, 0.35. There's a couple 30 sat per fee here. So people are way overspending right now. I think that's just something to keep in mind. If you are, I didn't pull it up. If you are trying to consolidate some UTXOs, or even if you're just sending a transaction, it's kind of stupidly cheap right now. So maybe you can get, maybe this is just one of those things you want to do just to say you can. Get a transaction with under 1 sat fee right now. So as Ben was saying, It is unfair, and this time it's for real. It seems like the mempool is a ghost town right now. So
Does that just mean, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know that much about the mempool. Like, I only know the very basics. Does that just mean that people aren't transacting?
yeah, basically.
What about that guy who moved his 7,000 Bitcoin? Like,
That's just still one transaction. There's just not that much activity on the main chain. So you guys, no one's actually buying Bitcoin from these exchanges, or rather no one's taking Bitcoin into custody. Now's the time to take Bitcoin into custody. Now's the time to consolidate your UTXOs. I've done the course on this show many, many times, but you don't want to have small transactions out there if the price of Bitcoin goes nuclear and fees go up. So I just found this very interesting. This is some nerd talk here.
What if it means that a bunch of people are just buying on exchanges and they still don't know about self-custody?
Yeah, that could be it. No one's using the main chain. No one's using on chain here.
And then anybody
It could be Lightning. It could be, there's a lot of Lightning activity. As someone just said, it means ordinals are, non-existent anymore. It could mean all of us in Bitcoin have no more fiat and only the whales and the sailors are able to buy Bitcoin. But it also could mean that the corporate treasuries, who knows where they're getting that Bitcoin, they could be moving it, they could be moving it on where do I have no, I don't have it on an open dime. They're doing off-chain transactions, but Mempools is a ghost town right now. So you might be able to get an under 1 sat fee right now, which is just, I honestly didn't even know that was a thing. I thought it was just like no fee or 1 sat fee. So I might make some transactions and see if I could get a 0.3 sat per VByte fee in this morning just to say I can. So who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Let me see what this. That's the signal to learn about ACH and Fedwire. Yeah, totally. That's exactly what it means. All right. Anyways, I do have to get off the show today, guys. Nico does need to use the stream setup currently, so I don't mean to cut it short for you guys today. But this was, I don't even know what, 1288, I believe. Yes, episode 1288. It's Tuesday, July 15th, guys. Again, stack some sats, go outside, touch some grass, eat some good food, call your loved ones.
Go out in the sun.
Go out in the sun. Yes, that's the new recommendation. 20 minutes of vitamin D for everyone that watches Simply Bitcoin. Yeah, this is, as he's saying, low volume, very few use Lightning. Okay, all right. Well, it just looks like no one's selling. No one's using Bitcoin.
Selling.
No one's using Bitcoin. All right, guys. We love you. We'll be back tomorrow. Of course, same time as always. Officially 12:16 p.m. Unofficially 12:30 p.m. But, hey, yell at us, and that's when we go
just
live.
Hang out in the chat. We know you guys all love each other. Like, just,
They don't. They really don't.
Listen,
Anyways.
I'm trying to incentivize the chat hangout, all right?
Yeah, the chat hangout. Anyways, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. On that note, this is your host, Opti, and then co-host C, the wonderful internet Sophie. Peace out, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Today's episode was brought to you by BitcoinWell.com, a Bitcoin-only platform on a mission to enable financial independence.